From Red Wilson Field in South Yarmouth, it's just after the off day, Game 6 of the Cape League summer season for the YD Red Sox. They are on a hot streak as they make their way over 500, and today they play host to their opening day opponent from just under a week ago in the Harwich Mariners. Poley, Perri, Kitei alongside. Perri already mentioned the 3 straight wins for YD. This offense has really been what's fueled that. They look entirely different than they did on those opening 2 days.
Those opening 2 days, they couldn't record a hit before the 5th or 6th inning. Recently, they've been tacking on the runs early. Usually in the first inning, they've got at least one, and the pitching has also been doing its job. Even though YD has been in some close situations, tie situations in those later innings, that offense has been able to produce continuously, consistently, and the bullpen has been coming in, closing things out cleanly. That's what's allowed them to go on this 3-game win streak after starting 0-2. They look really good right now.
YD has taken the first lead of the game within the first 3 innings in each of the last 3. No coincidence that they've been victors in all 3 of those games. Parker Bard gets the ball for YD, making his second appearance of the season. The native of Westfield, Indiana, plays his college ball for the Dayton Flyers. In that one appearance, had a little bit of trouble finding the strike zone. In 2 2/3 innings pitch, gave up 6 earned runs off 2 hits, 3 walks, had a strikeout, and gave up a double and a home run. And he will face off against a Harwich Mariners lineup that has fueled them to a 3-2 record so far, just a half game back of the division-leading Brewster Whitecaps, who come into the day 3-1-1. We're officially into week 2 of the Cape League baseball season in 2023, following the off day. And the first pitch is home from Parker Bard. It finds the outside corner for strike 1.
Harwich also comes into this game 3-2 after defeating Bourne 3-0 their last time out.
0-1 sharply slides into the top part of the zone for strike 2. Jacob Humphrey at the plate for Harwich. UMass Lowell Riverhawk takes outside. One ball, 2 strikes. Bard shakes one, working from the wind. Nearly hit him there.
In his last time out, Parker Bard struggled with consistent command. He hit more than 2 batters. He walked a few as well.
2-2 slides away, and Humphrey has worked his way back into the count at 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Bard's first time out should also be noted. It was in relief. This is his first start of the season for the Red Sox.
And he hit him. So Bard, who jumped ahead in the count early on against Humphrey, gets him to a full count. It would have been ball 4, but plunks the Harwich center fielder. And that brings up Seaver King, batting in the 2-hole for the Mariners.
King out of Wingate just announced his transfer to Wake Forest for the upcoming season, #1 team in the country currently.
Snap throw to first, and it's in time. Parker Bard gets the pickoff move and wipes the man off the base pads. It's the first time we've seen a successful pickoff for the Red Sox or their opponents this season, and now there's one out.
Great way to redeem himself there. Very exciting to get a pick off. Your first base runner almost immediately erased.
There's that sharp breaking pitch again that finds the top of the zone for strike 1. King, as mentioned, hit over 400 for Division II Wingate this past season. Committed to Wake Forest, a team that's still alive. He swings over the top of the 0-1. College World Series began today. Couple of games in Omaha this afternoon and tonight. Wake Forest is not in action. Oral Roberts took on TCU in the kickoff game. 0-2's a fastball away. A lot of Cape League players represented at that College World Series. Guys that, when the season wraps up, will be here over the next couple of weeks. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Parker Bard with a really nice start to his outing after the hit by pitch, a pickoff and a strikeout. And with the bases empty, there's 2 gone in the first. Brings up Kalen Culpepper. .200 hitter this season, 3 for 15 with a pair of runs scored. That pitch has been working for Parker Bard here in this early part of his outing.
Culpepper plays at Kansas State, has a teammate on the Red Sox.
0-1 pitch on the way, and it's popped out of play. Brady Day for YD's over at second base today. He's the Kansas State Wildcat for the Red Sox. Bard again ahead in a count 0-2. Liner out into center, oncoming Mitchell. Can't make the play. It drops in front of him for a base hit. Long turnaround first. Culpepper retreats. And a 2-out single for the Mariners shortstop keeps the inning alive.
Just a blooped pop-up to shallow center field. Mitchell playing pretty deep along with the rest of the outfield. Tried to sprint in, did not lay out for the dive on that. Maybe could have had a play if he did, but this early on in the game, letting that ball go past would do a lot more damage.
So that brings up Hunter Fitzgerald, especially you think with this part of the order coming up, and the cleanup hitter in Fitzgerald, who's hitting .455. No reason to allow any sort of extra bases, to your point. Fitzgerald making his 5th appearance, 5 for 11 this season. Talked about that .455 average already. He's also walked 3 times. Backdoor in there for strike 1. Bard nods his head. Small lead over there on first. Bard's going to go there anyway.
Fitzgerald is leading the Mariners in batting average right now, .455. He's played in 4 of their games.
Product of Old Dominion. First team all Sun Belt selection this season. Hit .316 for the Monarchs. Also had 22 home runs. Takes atop the zone for ball 1. Was drafted by the Colorado Rockies out of high school. One rides in. Red Sox says they have throughout this win streak going to the shift that they've resorted to. Brady Day is backed up into right field, and Collier Cranford, the shortstop, is playing in the shallow outfield grass just to the right of the second base bag. Max Vieira moving over to the spot that would normally be occupied by a shortstop. He's playing third base. A lot of room up the opposite field line for Fitzgerald. Saw the Red Sox pay the price for shifting in their game against Chatham when they got beat on it. It's another one that rides in. It gets away from Will King. Bard running it down, but King will get there first. That makes it a 3-1 count as the runner moves up. Three balls and a strike. To Fitzgerald, the DH. That pitch breaks in there for strike 1.
Fitzgerald thought he had that one for a second, started walking down the line and looked very much down the middle to me. Count runs full with 2 outs now.
The pitch in there for strike 3. That backdoor slider has been working for Parker Bard, and he works a scoreless first as we head to the home half. Red Sox to the plate for the first time. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the first inning here from Red Wilson Field. Luke West Poley, Perri Kitei alongside Casey Cook into the leadoff spot for YD. Nathan Archer gets the rest for the Red Sox. Shea Sprague on the mound for Harwich, and he fires in a first pitch strike to the UNC Tar Heel.
This is Sprague's first appearance in the Cape Cod League this season. Sprague is local to the area, local enough. He played at Boston College High School. He's from Hanover, Massachusetts, now at Elon University.
Grounder up the middle, base hit. Casey Cook starts the Red Sox off on the right foot. And a base knock in the bottom of the first brings up the best bat that this team has seen thus far in Will King.
That was a very well-hit ball from Casey Cook. Hard up the middle. King didn't have a chance on it. Laid out anyways, still inches away from the tip of his glove. Casey Cook has been very solid since his first appearance just 2 games ago.
First time out of the stretch now for Sprague. King goes first pitch swinging and fouls it off.
Will King, 7 hits, 14 at-bats. He's batting a clean .500. Many of those have come in very clutch situations, a few pinch hit situations. And he's showing Coach Pickler he's the man to be trusted.
Hit sky high out to center field. Humphrey coming over just to his left, camped underneath, makes the catch. 1 gone. Max Vieira in the 3-hole. He hit cleanup yesterday for YD. Was 3 for 5 with 3 base hits.
Vieira plays at Seton Hall, where he was a 2023 All-Big East first team selection. Transferred from Northwestern.
He lift throw over to first, hitting .455 through this early part of the Cape League season. Native of Greenwood Lake, New York. Runner goes, pitches outside, throw is wide over to second base, and that allows Cook to swipe the bag. In terms of pop time, not much better from Brian Arendt than that, but just threw it to the opposite side of the base, and Cook moves into scoring position with 1 out.
Cook did not have a good jump on that ball. If the throw
second to third. 3 unassisted. So Hunter Hines remaining in the lineup, playing at first base today in the cleanup spot for the Red Sox. YD has jumped on their opponents in each of the last 3 games. Talked about it right off the top that, not coincidentally, all 3 of those games ended up resulting in Red Sox wins.
These 2 teams have faced each other before, and it was a very different story at that time. Hines, who just took his first strike, was hitless in that game, as he was in their next game as well. Since then, he has exploded at the plate and has been a source of multiple extra base hits.
Swings at that one as it trickles away. Arendt will hold the runner on third. He's got 7 hits now in the season. 1 deep fly that came in a clutch situation for YD to pick up their first win of the year. That came against the Brewster Whitecaps. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hunter Hines, the Mississippi State Bulldog. Takes a breaking ball away.
Hines was a designated hitter at Mississippi State this season, where he was a first-team All-SEC selection, thanks to his 22 home runs, a number of doubles to go on top of that.
Two bounces in. Hines has the count filled. On deck for the Red Sox, Ryan Stafford set to make his debut. The 3-2, left side, right side rather, base hit. All the way to the wall. Hines is going to motor around first. He pulls into second base safely. Hit that ball pretty hard. Looked like Scannell may have had a play on it, but he just snuck it by him. And the Red Sox take their first lead of the game at 1-0.
Hines ripped the cover off that ball. It went foul just after the first baseline, and because of how hard it was hit, even though it was rolling the entire time in that grass, which isn't particularly short, made it all the way to the fence. A faster runner definitely would have gone for 3. Hines, knowing himself, pretty much jogged to second and was safe by a mile. Didn't even attempt third, but he knocks in a run, and the YD Red Sox are ahead.
First pitch to Ryan Stafford is fouled off. New catcher that was activated today for the Red Sox, 5'10", 175 junior from Cal Poly, native of Folsom, California. Second team All Big West selection to the tune of a .313 average. Swings and misses at the 0-1 offering. Won the Ozzie Smith MVP award, of course. Ozzie Smith, the great and alum of Cal Poly, played for their baseball program.
Stafford, very successful behind the plate as well. Picked off 11 would-be base stealers and 3 more pickoffs on base.
Takes strike 3 in the outside corner, and that retires the side. But the Red Sox content to take the first lead. Hunter Hines with a 2-out RBI double. And it's 1-0 YD as we head to the second. You're watching Red Sox baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the second inning from Red Wilson Field. Luke West Poley with Perri Kitei, 1-0 our score. YD leading the Harwich Mariners. Parker Bard back to the bump for the Red Sox, facing off against Kennedy Jones, the left fielder. Takes the first pitch down for ball 1.
Jones is last on the Mariners in batting average, just 2 for 15. That makes for 133. But he's made both of them count. They've both been doubles.
Takes ball 2. Was hitless in the first meeting between these two teams when he was in the 4 spot as the DH, reached on an error, but was 0 for 4. Flares that one foul. Parker Bard worked through the first inning, gave up 1 hit, hit a batter as well, but 2 strikeouts and a pickoff of the base runner on first got him out of the inning scoreless. Foul to the backstop. It's 2-2.
It's a warm but overcast day here at Red Wilson Field. Some pretty heavy cloud coverage, but some brightness sneaking through.
Ball ducks away to make it 3 balls and 2 strikes. Temperature has had some fluctuation. Looks like, I believe, next week it's going to start to get warm. 3-2 in the other batter's box for ball 4.
Bard was consistently missing low and away on both of those pitches at the end.
Targeted that spot as well in the first inning. Did have a good amount of misses. Also got some swing and miss chase stuff, though. But good job by Jones to hold up. Kenny Lavari at the dish. Takes the ball outside. Lavari, one of many Old Dominion Monarchs that have populated the Cape League through this early part of the season.
Lavari played for Harwich last season as well, appeared in 17 games, batted .204. And he played for Chatham the summer prior, so a Cape Cod Baseball League regular in that lefty batter's box right now.
He's a vet. Swings and misses at the 1-1 offering. Hit .312 during the spring. .893 OPS. Both of those were the highest of his career. He's got a very compact stance. Takes ball 2.
And his fun facts listed on the Old Dominion website, it says Kenny eats a Snickers before games. Not sure if that's true, but if so, definitely could be used in one of those Snickers ads. You know the ones I'm talking about.
I do.
You're not you if you don't eat a Snickers.
NIL is legal now, so I mean it's not, but it could be, right? Snickers endorsement?
That'd be a pretty good endorsement.
That would be. It's got the count full. Pretty decent crowd on hand, about what we've seen throughout this first week and a day of the Cape League season. The 3-2 swung on and missed for strike 3. Bard ties him up with the breaking ball inside. Gets the swing and miss for his 3rd punchy. And with 1 out and a runner on first, Brian Arendt strides up.
We didn't see Arendt in the meeting between these two teams earlier this season, so this is the first time he will face the YD pitching staff, the YD infield on the edge of that outfield grass. Hines protecting first with Jones, the runner.
Arendt hitting .400 through 3 games. 4 for 10. He's also driven 4 in. Plays for UNC Wilmington. Takes strike 1.
Played 10 games last season with Harwich as well. Batted just .172. On base percentage, .325.
One sent outside.
He plays at UNCW, as does his brother Jason, who plays first base and DH. They're North Carolina natives, an all-state selection in North Carolina out of high school. Long way away from home.
Takes just inside. A lot of guys in this league from, not only from North Carolina originally, but from a lot of those colleges in the state. Taps the 2-1 foul. This lineup looks pretty similar. Couple of changes for head coach Steve Englert compared to when these teams first met. As you alluded to, Perry, that this was one of them, putting Brian Arendt behind the dish. The 2-2 check swing, and it came off the knob of his bat, so it's a foul ball. In College World Series news, Oral Roberts has come from behind to take a 6-5 lead over TCU as we speak.
YD patiently waiting on TCU Ben Abel to finish up his season so he can get over here and get on that mound.
A lot of guys throughout the league that are still fighting with their colleges. 2-2 hit pretty well, but sky high. This is going to range into foul territory and be caught by Max Vieira. Pretty good velocity off the bat, but almost straight up. It's caught for the second out. Matt Scannell coming to the plate with a runner on first and 2 out.
Scannell plays at Princeton. He used to have a teammate in the league on the Anglers who was recently released by the Anglers after week 1. So I believe he's the only Princeton guy left out here.
First pitch comes in on him. This is, of course, the time where we start to see the releases happen. YD made their first round of cuts earlier today. 3 players no longer with the team. One 0 to Scannell. Down and in for ball 2.
Scannell, a native of San Antonio, Texas, finished up his junior year.
His dad played college ball in this area at University of Maine and Northeastern. Rips this one right side, base hit. Jones takes a look around second, but will head back, and it's a 2-out single by Matt Scannell to extend the side. And that brings up Eric Arado out of Northern Illinois.
I got to watch Eric Arado play this year. I actually called that game when Northern Illinois visited Northwestern. It was a brutal game, a lot of bullpen pitching from both teams, very high scoring. I believe the final score was something like 15-12, Northwestern. Arado batted .265 this spring. Native of Sussex, Wisconsin.
Takes the first pitch inside. It's an NIU team. Had a bit of a difficult year, but things might be looking up for the Huskies. Just got a new head coach announced a couple days ago. Rado had been their leader in pretty much every offensive category you could think of for the last few seasons. He also did not play against YD the first time these two teams met. He hit .265 this spring. That was the first time in his college career, whether during the spring with NIU or during summer ball, that he's hit under 300 for a season. That tells you anything about how he's performed at the plate throughout his career. And he's ahead in the count 3-0. Parker Bard, last time he pitched, this is what got to him, was letting innings go longer than they needed to with 2 outs. Walked a couple of batters and gave up a grand slam in his lone appearance. The 3-0 to Arado, and that's ball 4.
A 4-pitch walk in just your second inning of work is not what you want to see from your starting pitcher, because throwing that 4th pitch and making that a strike shows your ability to put it in the zone, knowing your batter is probably not going to swing. So Bard missing on that, not a good sign for his longevity so far.
That turns the lineup over for Jacob Humphrey, who was hit by a pitch his first time up and then was picked off on first base. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Slider away for ball 1. Whitey middle infield is playing back to the furthest reaches of the infield dirt. Now we're seeing a coach out of the dugout for the Red Sox as YD wants to meet the infield.
Humphrey's no stranger to getting hit by pitches. He was hit by 10 this season at UMass Lowell. He's a fan of the Boston Red Sox, not the YD Red Sox, but as a native of Standish, Maine, that's in the New England area.
Infield meeting breaks up. Has hit over 300 in both of his 2 seasons with the Riverhawks. And Humphrey up in a big spot, trying to at least pull his team level, perhaps give him a lead here in the second. Bard still going out of the stretch and gets the swing and miss on the 1-0.
Big lead from Scannell over at second. Smaller from Jones on the corner.
King frames it on the outside corner for strike 2. And Bard has returned to the zone following the infield meeting. The 1-2 outside. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bard all set. The pitch, outside ball 3, and now the runners will be off with the pitch. And Bard has nowhere to put Jacob Humphrey. Long eye in on Will King behind the plate. The payoff. Called strike 3. Bard finds the outside corner of the zone, and somehow, some way, he strands ducks on the pond, and Harwich is held scoreless for the second straight inning. We head to bottom 2. It's 1-0 Red Sox. You're watching YD Baseball here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. First pitch high and away for ball one on Collier Cranford. Runner goes. 1-0 is tapped foul behind home plate.
Cranford has 3 hits, 3 runs on the season in 11 at-bats. This is his 5th appearance for the Red Sox, has become a staple in that lineup. Plays at the University of Kansas, a Jayhawk.
Runner goes again, 1-1, falls low, throw the second's a good one, and it's in time. Jacob Christian gunned down, and that empties out the bases and records out number 2 for Harwich in the bottom of the second.
Arent missed on the first YD runner, was not going to make the same mistake twice. This one right on the money. He had Christian by at least a couple steps. Now the bases are empty, 2 outs in the bottom of the second.
Swing and a miss on the 2-1. Cranford over the top. Two balls, 2 strikes to the YD shortstop. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Shea Sprague, and he faces the minimum in the bottom of the second inning. Still 1-0 YD. We head to the third. You're watching Red Sox baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Two, 3, 4 in the lineup for Harwich. Coming up in the top of the third inning, Seaver King starting off for the Mariners, trailing the Red Sox by a 1-0 score. King struck out swinging back in inning number 1. Parker Bard with 4 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. Check swing and a foul ball on the first offering.
Bard cutting that one close. Thought it almost hit him for a second. It just clipped the knob of his bat instead. King this season at Wingate, a Division II school, batted .411, slugging .699 with 36 extra base hits. No wonder he is a now Division I transfer in that portal. Was looking at schools mostly in North Carolina, wanting to stay closer to those friends and connections he's made while at Wingate.
Ended up with the Deeks in Winston-Salem. 1-1, lined over to short. One hopper caught by Cranford. High throw to first, but it's in plenty of time for out number 1. Ball was stung off the bat.
A very nice play from Cranford, picking that up off the bounce. It was hard hit, but because it was so hard hit, it was a pretty routine bounce. Cranford knew where it was going, picked it up, made the throw, plenty of time. But again, solid contact from King, the first we've seen from him today.
Now Kalen Culpepper up to the plate. He's 1 for 1 with a base hit. YD shifted on him with 3 on the left side. First pitch is in there for a strike. Culpepper made it up to second base back in the first inning before the side was retired. 0-1 popped up, foul ground. Will King over to it and will make the catch just next to the on-deck circle for out number 2. Moving right along to Hunter Fitzgerald in the 4th spot. He got rung up to end the top of the first inning.
Fitzgerald, a first-team All-Sunbelt selection, had a long road to get there. Played at Florida Southern College, Florida Southwestern State, and Hillsborough Community College before finally finding his home at Old Dominion.
Swings and misses at the 1-0 offering to make it a ball and a strike. Hit 22 home runs. Mentioned that a couple of innings ago. When asked why Old Dominion, he said they hit a lot of home runs. He certainly did his fair share of contribution to that. Bouncer over to the right side. Cranford's got it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning in the 3rd for Parker Bard. It's still 1-0 Red Sox. We head to the bottom of the 3rd when we come back here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Cape Cod Healthcare is proud to be the official healthcare sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, and with 6 convenient urgent care centers across Cape Cod from Falmouth to Orleans, we're ready to treat a wide variety of minor illnesses and injuries so you can get back to your regularly scheduled summer plans quickly. Open daily with no appointment needed and staffed by board-certified ER providers. View wait times at capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, urgent care, minor emergencies, major attention. Bottom of the 3rd inning here from Red Wilson Field. And Nick Mitchell in the 9 spot leads off for the Red Sox in a 1-0 game with YD in front. Mitchell takes ball 1. Hitting 3 for 9 on the season, has scored 3 runs as well. And he wears it on the hand. Little bat flip on the tail end of that for Nick Mitchell as he flips the line up to the top of the order. It's the first batter that Shea Sprague has hit. Second free pass he's given up. And it brings up Casey Cook, who's 1 for 1.
Cook started things off with that hard hit grounder right up the middle, got on first base. This time there's a runner aboard ahead of him. That was Cook's 3rd hit of the season.
First pitch is in there for strike 1, lefty on lefty. So Shea Sprague has worked his way through the YD lineup 1 time, has given up 1 run off 2 hits. He has stranded 1 runner and faced the minimum 1 time. Mitchell back standing up. Shea Sprague, 3-pitch mix. There's fastball, slider, changeup. Changeup is his swing and miss pitch. Fastball sits in the low to mid 80s from the left side. And puts that one right over the plate for strike 2. How about the Golden Eagles of Oral Roberts coming from behind to win Game 1 of the College World Series? They beat TCU just moments ago, 6-5. 0-2 is outside.
It's always fun to see a small school competing with the big guys on a national level.
52nd win of the season for Oral Roberts. 1-2, check swing, held up, and the pitch misses outside. That Oral Roberts team only lost one game in conference play, which is just ridiculous. Two-two, broken bat, one hopper over to first. 3-6, back end to one is not in time. It's a fielder's choice for Casey Cook. And he'll need some new lumber next time he comes up, and now he's got to run the bases. Runner on first and one out for Will King.
That bat was splintered in half. We've seen some broken bats, some cracked bats. That one ended up in 2 full pieces.
King swings and misses at the first offering. Just think, it's $100 to $200 every single time that happens. Unfortunate. Oh, 1, chopper to short. The throw on to first, and it's a 6-4-3 double play, and that ends the inning. So YD gets a couple of base runners, but still facing the minimum. Shea Sprague is through 3 innings, giving up just 1 run. It's 1-0 Red Sox as we head to inning number 4. When we come back, Harwich to the plate. You're watching YD Baseball here on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Back for the top of the 4th here at Red Wilson Field. It's Perri Kitei alongside Luke West Poley as Parker Bard has kept the Mariners scoreless through 3. The Red Sox lead 1-0. Bard out of Dayton went 1-2-3 in the last inning, and he faces Kennedy Jones. Turns his shoulder away at that for ball 1. Jones very far up in this batter's box with his back foot on the back line. Bard, who has at times struggled with his control on the inside and the outside, would definitely be more susceptible to hit a batter as close to the plate as Jones is right now. His outside elbow almost over the plate as Bard deals 3 balls in a row. An important 3-0 pitch on the way. He nods. Misses below the zone, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to start things off in the top of the 4th. Kennedy Jones on board. Brings up Kenny Lavari. Lavari struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Bard made him bite on that breaking ball. We see so regularly. Jones a small lead at first. He's already seen Bard pick off a runner there. Lavari looks at the 0-1. Fouls it back off the top of Will King's helmet. Down 0-2.
Bard's done a nice job with that slider. He's backdoored it well, but I think he's also had a good amount of success when he can bring it in on hitters like that and tie them up. Makes the contact a lot weaker.
This one just misses outside. That's a call we've seen him get in the past, but not right there.
That's a miss you're content with, I think, if you're Parker Bard. You'll take that pitch.
The 1-2. Hammered high in the sky. Under it is Casey Cook out in right field. Makes the grab. Jones forced to retreat to first base. There was a loud crack off that bat, but Lavari got the barrel underneath, skied it, and Casey Cook barely had to move on that one for out number 1.
Yeah, so often at this field, you just don't know off the bat. Because of how small this park tends to be, one of the only indicators a lot of times you'll get about where a ball is going to land is the outfielder. It looked like that ball might be gone off the bat, but Casey Cook was under it right from the jump.
Brian Arendt holds off on ball 1. His sliding mitt in his back pocket. Seen that a lot more regularly this year across the board in college baseball and softball.
Gotta get the style up.
Safety is fashionable. Jones still on first. Brian Arendt at the plate. Counts 2-0. Swings and misses, strike 1. It's crowded but quiet here at Red Wilson Field. The bleachers are packed. We've got some fans behind the outfield fence. The hills are all set up. Everyone brings their own beach chairs. Another swing and a miss. Count evens up at 2. Matt Scannell, the first baseman, on deck. Bard way outside. A nice play from Will King to prevent the wild pitch. Jones certainly would have advanced, but King almost laying out to make that grab. Full count. The payoff pitch, high, ball 4. Bard walks his first two batters of the inning. Now with 2 aboard, just 1 out, looking like deja vu for Parker Bard, trying to prevent loading the bases here as he faces Matt Scannell, who had a hit in his first at-bat.
You got to be careful because it's been bend but don't break so far, but you know, asking whether or not that's the most sustainable thing in the world, the answer is probably not. Now Coach Pick out of the dugout, there is, looks like a righty out there working for YD.
Pick's mistake against Kitei was leaving Bard in the game just a little bit too long, hoping he could pull back, get himself out of a jam. Instead, a grand slam sealed the deal on what ended up being just a 2-run win for Kitei at 8-6 after YD made a remarkable comeback that fell just short. Interested to see what he'll do here.
He's going to call the bullpen, it looks like. Still in Simmons out there for YD, and he's going to enter the game here in the fourth.
So it appears Coach Pickler has learned from his mistake, making different choices here. We'll give him a chance to warm up and take a quick break. Thanks for listening to the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Dylan Simmons on the bump, plays at Pitt University, transferred from Florida State. He's a Florida native, stands at 6'3". He's a right-handed dealer, trying to work his way out of a jam. Has two inherited base runners from Bard. That's Jones on second, Arendt the catcher on first. He's facing Scannell at the plate, who has a new count. First pitch chopped foul, out of play. The Red Sox lead 1-0, 2 hits apiece for both of these teams. It's the top of the fourth inning. Simmons takes the nod from King, checks his runners. Pitch on the way. Low for ball one. Simmons almost hits him, but Scannell gets out of the way. He's ahead in the count now. It's 2-1. Simmons pitched a 6.1 ERA, went 1-1 with 13 appearances, 20.2 total innings pitched. Outside, ball three. Simmons walked just 6 batters, struck out 35 in 98 batters faced.
This is his second appearance of the year. Also pitched in the loss against Kitei. It only got 2/3 of an inning.
This one ripped out to center field, running back for it, Mitchell, but it's out of here. A home run for Matt Scannell, and the Mariners take the lead. It's 3-1, Harwich. And this is the first time in the last 4 games the Red Sox are facing a deficit.
Just goes to show what happens when you fall behind in a count. Need to get something over the plate, and hitters in this league, they're not fools. They know what's coming. And that time, Scannell just lined him up.
Scannell was the 8th spot, brings up Eric Arado, the right fielder. Holds off, fouls it on his first pitch. Bases are cleared, still 1 out. Harwich leads 3-1 now here in the top of the 4th at Red Wilson Field. Simmons on the mound. Just one of those, an earned run for him as he inherited 2 base runners. Counts 2-1 to Arado. He walked in his first time up. This time swings through, strike 2. Arado, hard ball up the middle. Cranford has it over to first, just in time. Gets the out, number 2 of the inning. YD was well positioned on that. Cranford was shifted way over towards second base, which is essentially right where that ball was hit, backed up the base. Picked it up almost at the edge of the outfield. It was hard enough hit that he had time to toss it over to Hines. So Harwich back to the top of the order. It's their 3rd time around. Jacob Humphrey back at the plate, the center fielder. Check swing did not go. Counts 1-1. A nice block from Will King off his leg. Humphrey takes strike 2 down the middle. Nice fastball from Simmons, finds that inside corner. Swings through, strike 3. The Red Sox end the inning. Simmons on the mound closes it out with a strikeout, but a home run from Matt Scannell puts the Mariners ahead 3-1. It's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Max Vieira stepping up to the plate for the Red Sox, the only member of the team with double-digit hits so far. He has 10 on the season. He's 0 for 1 today with a ground out. Could change that here. Had 3 hits just 2 days ago before the rest day. Vieira batting in the 3 spot. YD will go 3-4-5. Fouls off strike 1.
It's been something of a pitcher's duel so far, but I think it just shows the importance of free passes. Only one hit in the top of the fourth inning for Harwich, and it was the home run that put them in front 3-1.
Breaking ball outside just clips that top corner, strike 2. Vieira down in the count. This one ripped out to left field, might drop, and it does, but just foul. Vieira was already rounding first by the time that blooper missed the line. Jogging back now. YD has seen a lot of success with hits just hugging those foul lines. This one not very hard hit. The outfield playing rather far back, just in front of where a warning track would be if there was one here at Red Wilson Field. 1-2 pitch. Outside, ball 2. Vieira lines this one, just foul again, almost an identical spot up that third base line. Thought that one had the potential to drop fair, just inches away. The count remains 2-2. Vieira just trying to put this one foul, inching closer and closer to that line against Sprague. Ball 3 in the dirt, full count. Hines on deck. He had an RBI double in his first at-bat. That one also up the lines, the first baseline. Cranked a ground ball. Full count to Vieira. This one goes up towards second. King has it. Almost overthrows first. But Scannell uses his height to get up and collect that one. The throw looked very high off of Seaver's hand. Kind of floated its way down to first, and that's one out. With Hunter Hines up to bat, the lefty big hitter. Huge cut and miss from Hines. Nice fastball right down the middle for Sprague, and Hines facing an 0-2 count with one out. Red Sox facing a 2-run deficit. It's 3-1. The outfield way backed up as Hines holds off, and the count evens up at 2. Hines slugged .683 this season at Mississippi State. Sprague deals him 3 balls in a row, and the count runs full.
I think since he started hitting the ball after that tough stretch in the first couple of games, honestly, one of the most impressive parts, I think, for Hunter Hines has been his discipline at the plate.
This one chopped just foul off his foot, immediately called off. Ryan Stafford on deck, yet to record his first hit of his Cape Cod Baseball League season. Hines up towards first, and it gets through the gap. Eric Arado collects it in right field, but Hunter Hines 2 for 2 on the day. Another grounder, another hit. So much power off of the bat of Hines. King was shifted over towards the middle on that. And both times now, Hines has gone right up this first base line. Stafford takes strike one. Finished up his sophomore year out at Cal Poly. Batted .313. Stafford is a former freshman All-American in 2022 and was a first-team All-Big West selection that season as well. He's been a consistent starter since he first put on that Cal Poly uniform. This one inside, and the count's at 2-1. We have seen one stolen base from Hines, kind of a trick play design from Scott Pickler with runners at the corners. A delayed steal from Hines did work. His first stolen base of the summer, he had none. This season, Stafford lines it up to short, and Culpepper makes the play. Hines sprinting back to first, and it's a double play to end the inning for the Mariners. An extremely athletic play from Culpepper at short. And Hines, who got the jump off the bat, just could not get back to the base in time. And Sprague strands a runner as we head to the top of the 5th inning on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Dylan Simmons back on the mound. It's the top of the 5th at Red Wilson Field. He faces Seaver King batting in the 2 spot as Harwich makes their way through the lineup for the 3rd time. They lead 3-1. The Red Sox way back on the grass. This one lined just foul up the 3rd base line. It didn't even look like Max Vieira was ready to make a play on that ball, so luckily for him, it missed outside the bag by just a few feet.
The 3rd baseline has seen a lot of action, a lot of stuff in foul ground. Everything up the line has been in foul territory so far.
A break behind home plate as a YD assistant coach comes out to adjust Will King's catcher's gear. The players just swinging their arms, kicking their feet, trying to entertain themselves on the field. Not really sure what's going on. Looks like the straps might be broken.
This might also be a pitch comm issue, possibly.
King kind of just standing right outside the batter's box, waiting patiently.
Everybody's just standing around right now. I'm not sure what we're waiting on, but yeah, it is the pitch comm. He's got it pulled out of his ear, and YD's going old style. Pitch comm out. Going to run with the signals, it looks like, and now Scott Pickler comes out of the dugout, so maybe Dylan Simmons doesn't actually have signals gone over with Will King. They might have to just go through a quick rundown now with the PitchCom shop for the moment.
Definitely going to be some interesting communication going on here as the PitchCom makes things pretty easy, but going back to the old school signals. King just fouled off that first pitch of his at-bat. Now it's been about 2 minutes in between pitches. As the home plate umpire starts his march out to the mound to break up the meeting, they head back to their positions. Coach Pickler back to the dugout. And King soon to step back into that batter's box.
And it's a little unfortunate, too, because unless there's some sort of exception, which I don't believe there is, I think YD just burned their one mound visit for the inning.
King rips it into right field, and it drops in front of Cook. Might have been a little broken bat sound on that one. Sounded a little bit off, but bloops it into shallow right field for a leadoff hit for the Mariners. Brings up Culpepper.
It's a good piece of hitting. That's how you hit 411. If you get a pitch that is over the outside part of the plate, just throw your hands at it. Caught it off the end of the bat. Just float it the opposite way. The Red Sox are playing very deep in the outfield here against Culpepper. They were doing the same thing against King, and he just deposited it right in front of Casey Cook and right.
Culpepper 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a fly out. No outs here in the top of the 5th. Culpepper had 41 runs batted in this season. Batted .325 overall. He's ahead in the count, 3-0. King on first, Fitzgerald on deck. And Culpepper takes strike 1. Significant lead from King on first. Runner goes. Fouled back into the fence. King would have had second base almost positively. He got an excellent jump on that. Simmons wasn't even looking over at him. He started his run before Simmons even threw the pitch. Full count to Kalen Culpepper. And he nails him on the shoulder. Culpepper hits the deck hard. Actually, it appears that one went off the tip of the bat. I thought it hit him on the shoulder based on the sound. But instead, as he tried to turn away from it, it did catch the corner of his bat. So the at-bat goes on, full count still. King, a threat to steal. Runner goes. This one, slow bouncer up towards third. Charging in on it is Vieira. The runner is safe. He beats out the throw. It was a slow-moving ball. Max Vieira had to come sprinting in on it, and that long throw across the diamond just was not in time to beat out the speed of Culpepper. An infield single.
This is a dangerous spot, and this goes back to the PitchCom. You can't go out now and talk to your pitcher to calm him down. And nobody out working in the YD bullpen for now. Dylan Simmons going to have to get out of this himself.
King on second, Culpepper on first. No outs, 1 ball, no strikes to Fitzgerald at the plate. Hammered into center field, sprinting in on it. Nick Mitchell can't make the play. It bounces in front of him. Almost got the force out at second. Culpepper beat out the throw. The bases are now loaded. Mitchell could have dove for that ball, chose instead to make the safe play and let it bounce in front.
Yeah, I think he might have recognized that now we get the pitch com back. I think that out in center, Mitchell might have recognized where the base runner was, and as you alluded to, had a chance to maybe get the force out there at second if that throw was online, but just threw it away from the base.
Culpepper had to hold up in first in case that ball was caught, which gave Mitchell the chance at the force out. But Cranford also bobbled that ball on the toss from Mitchell, so there wasn't even a play attempt. King, with his pitch-com device back in, is behind the plate for Kennedy Jones, who's walked twice today. These Harwich hitters attacking early in the count. That one fouled back into the fence. Jones was on the Golden Spikes Award preseason watch list. Plays at UNC Greensboro.
He's got a very interesting batting stance. He almost drags the bat along the back part of his helmet. He has it pulled so far back.
He was a first-team All-SoCon selection in 2023, second-team and all-freshman team last season in 2022. Simmons pick off towards first, not in time. Tried to fake out the Mariners by staring at Culpepper on second and then quickly turning, hoping to get Fitzgerald off guard at first. Was not successful. The 1-1 outside, ball 2. The Mariners have doubled up the Red Sox in hits. They have 6 on the day as another ball moves this count to 3-1. Still no outs for the Red Sox. Bases loaded. Around the horn, it's Fitzgerald at first, Culpepper on second, King on third. The Mariners could break this one open. Fouled back into the fence, full count. Culpepper hammers it out towards left field, heading to the wall, drops just at the fence. Christian chasing after it, gets the relay in now. But 2 runs come across for the Mariners. They lead 5-1 on the 2 RBI double from Kennedy Jones.
Next up, out of Bull Pavilion, number 7, Kenny Lamari.
And now we'll finally see some action in the YD bullpen as a pitcher has rushed to get up there, but Dylan Simmons has just gotten hit around so far in this relief appearance. Felt like this might have been coming to the YD pitching after how this game transpired early on, where they were allowing a lot of base runners. Harwich just waiting for that big opportunity, and they got it.
This one bounced up towards first. Hines has it, checks the runner at third, and gets the crucial first out of the inning for the Red Sox, preventing another run from coming across. A very quick at-bat for Lavari. Arendt back at the plate. We've reached the bottom of the Harwich order, going 7, 8, 9. 1 out. Simmons, a first pitch strike. Infield in for the Red Sox. as Arendt fouls it back out of play and goes down 0-2. The nod from Simmons. Pitch on the way. Called strike 3. That's out number 2. Simmons just finds the corner. An excellent frame job from Will King. And the Red Sox are down to the final out. Runners in scoring position still. It's Jones on second, Fitzgerald on third, but that strikeout was absolutely massive for Dylan Simmons.
Yeah, it really has felt like he's settled in after giving up that double. I feel like you don't really have a whole lot more to lose here.
He's facing Matt Scannell now, who hit a home run, 3-run blast off him in his first at-bat. He was the first player to face Dylan Simmons. Took full advantage. Here with 2 outs, Simmons trying to change the story. 1-0 count. Infield back deep. As Simmons finally finds the strike zone, counts 2-1. Solid block from King behind the plate prevents the passed ball.
Got that open base at first. Got the 9-man in the order coming up. Don't want to walk, but it's okay if you nibble a little bit here, I think.
Hammered out towards right field, up in the air. Christian going back for it, and he makes the grab this time. Scannell couldn't find the juice to push it beyond the fence, and the inning is over. Harwich tacks on 2. They lead 5-1. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 5th at Red Wilson Field. The Red Sox going 6, 7, 8, starting off with Jacob Christian. 0 for 0 today with a walk. Facing Shea Sprague, the starter still on the mound. A lengthy start from him. Infield on that outfield grass. And Christian takes strike 1. The Mariners lead 5-1. With 7 hits to the Red Sox 3. No errors in the game so far. Jacob Christian was the Division II National Player of the Year That's the Ron Lenz National Player of the Year award, set a single season program record for home runs and RBI. He had 28 home runs with 70 RBI. Fouls it back and the count's 2-2. The Red Sox put up a run in the first inning, and it's been donuts across the board since then. Full count. Christian has Brady Day on deck. He's the second baseman today. He's been playing around that middle infield. We've seen him at short. We've seen him at third for just a few innings. This one lined out towards left center, heading back to the fence. Goes off the fence. Christian already on second, could head for three, but he holds up after a nice relay throw from Humphrey. Christian just a few feet from getting out of the ballpark, but nonetheless a strong start to the inning for the Red Sox with their leadoff batter in scoring position.
Yeah, the outfield was shifted on him there, with Humphrey out in center playing to the right of the second base bag, and that was a long run for him. He crashed into the fence. I think it's the right decision with nobody out for Scott Pickler to hold him at second, but that's what you need if you're YD after some stagnation of your offense to get that extra base hit, get the dugout back into the game.
Brady Day at the plate, struck out swinging, but lines this one up the middle, and it drops. Christian rounding third. He'll be held up. Day takes a turnaround first. He stays there as well. First pitch hit for Brady Day. 1 for 2 now. Runners on the corner for Collier Cranford in the 8th spot. That one, a liner that dropped just behind second base in the dirt, rolled onto the grass. Nice contact up the middle. Nobody there for Day, who has a strong lead at first. Cranford hits it deep towards center field. This one's going back to the fence. Humphrey makes the grab. Christian tags, and he will score. Day held up at first, but the Red Sox get one back. It's 5-2.
I think they're starting to get to Sprague a little bit. Seen a couple really hard hit balls in this inning now. See if Nick Mitchell can continue the train and try to get YD a step closer.
Nick Mitchell in the 9th spot, hoping to turn things over. There's one out, bottom of the 5th. Day on first. Pickoff attempt, not in time. Mitchell out of Western Illinois University at the plate. The All-Summit League first teamer. A former second teamer and all-freshman teamer his freshman year in 2022. Another pickoff towards first. Day just a foot away. Slides back easily. Nick Mitchell reached base safely in 30 games in a row during the 2023 season while batting .354 during that stretch. Shows bunt, pulls back. Called strike. Coach Pickler does use a lot of small ball. Wouldn't be surprised to see the bunt shown here again from Mitchell, who's already laid one down successfully this season. This time swings away, fouls it back out of play. Game time has just passed an hour and a half. We're at an hour and 36 minutes in the bottom of the 5th. Mitchell ripped up towards second. King has it, could be a double play opportunity. A spin move from Culpepper, not in time. Mitchell beats it out to first, essentially replacing Day, who's forced out at second. Back to the top of the order with Casey Cook.
Next up, out of UNC Chapel Hill, number 16, Casey Cook.
Righty out working in the bullpen as the infield meets up. Some fist bumps come in to Shea Sprague.
And it looks like his day will be over. Harwich trying to limit the damage in this inning. It's Will Pearson heading to the bump. We'll give him some time to warm up. And we'll be back after this break on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Will Pearson on the bump for the Mariners out of the University of Georgia Bulldogs. His teammate Leighton Finley in the bullpen for the Red Sox. Runner goes, throw on the way. In time. Culpepper lays on the tag. Mitchell can't get it done, and the inning is over. The Red Sox get one back. It's 5-2 as we head to the top of the sixth. It's Connor O'Hara stepping up. The day is done for Dylan Simmons, who worked his way out of somewhat of a jam in the last inning with bases loaded, no outs, managed to get out of there with just 2 runs scored for the Mariners. But right now, O'Hara out of Florida Gulf Coast University, trying to keep more runs off the board. He faces Eric Arado in the 9th spot. O'Hara was the only YD pitcher as of June 13th to crack the Cape Cod Baseball League top 10 fastest pitches list, above 97 miles an hour. Went 1.2 innings in his first appearance. Allowed 1 hit with 1 strikeout. Falls behind in this count for his first batter. It's 3-0. It's a righty on lefty matchup. This one finds the zone, strike 1. Ball 4 outside. Eric Arado will take a base for his 2nd walk of the day. Turns the lineup over once again. Feels like we've said that a lot today. Harwich already on their 4th time through in just 6 innings. It's Jacob Humphrey at the plate, 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. Squares to bunt, pulls back, strike 1. Pickoff attempt towards first, a little bit wide. Hines didn't even attempt the tag. Another pickoff up high. Arado safely back on the bag. Humphrey faces the 0-1. Swings through, strike 2. O'Hara gets him swinging. Humphrey back to the dugout. 1 out for the Red Sox.
Out of Wingate, number 25, Seaver King.
Seaver King back for his 4th time around. In his last at-bat, he had a bloop single out towards center field. Runner goes. Throw on the way from King. The runner is safe. The throw was behind the bag a little bit. Cranford couldn't bring the glove across in time. And Arado safe on 2nd.
Close play out there on 2nd. Think King would have had him if that ball was dotted up on the right side of the second base bag.
The 0-1 to King. Chopped foul up the 3rd base line. King also did a good job of staying put in the batter's box on that one, making an awkward throw for King. Oh, it's King on King. Oh, 0-2 count to Seaver King. This one gets through the gap. He beats the shift. Runners coming home. The throw not in time. The Red Sox were shifted over on King towards the left side of the field. Instead, he sends a liner on the ground into right field. approximately where Day would be if he was in his regular position. Instead, a single scores a run, and the Mariners are ahead 6-2.
Second time in as many games that a batter has gone the opposite way and beaten YD's shift.
Culpepper at the plate made an excellent diving catch earlier this game in the shortstop position. Shift is on him again. YD staying with their current strategy. They are also shifted towards left field with Day on the left side of second base, Cranford in the middle, and Vieira over by this third base line. The outfield, however, in their regular positions. Culpepper swings through, strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Harwich leads 6-2 in the top of the 6th. They've tacked on a run. Day back on this side of second. Runner goes. This one's golfed up in to foul territory. Heading on over it, making the play is Hunter Hines. King forced to retreat back to first, 2 outs.
Now batting out of Old Dominion, number 32, Hunter Fitzgerald.
Hunter Fitzgerald, the best batter for the Mariners so far this season, at the plate. Swings foul, very hard hit ball towards the YD bullpen. Fitzgerald was 5 for 11 coming into today. He's 1 for 3 today. O'Hara taking his time, pitch on the way, grounded up towards first. Hines makes a nice grab, puts his foot on first without even standing up, and the side is retired. Harwich adds another. They lead 6-2. You're listening to Perri Kitei and Luke West Poley on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Casey Cook gets another chance at the plate after Nick Mitchell was caught stealing to end the inning at the bottom of the 5th, so it's the bottom of the 6th. YD facing a deficit. Harwich leads 6-2. Will Pearson back on the mound. Cook 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a foul catch in foul territory. Almost hit on ball 2. Breaking ball catches the outside for strike 1. Cook bats left but throws right. A staple out there in the right field position ever since he joined the YD roster. Swings through, strike 2. Full count to Casey Cook. YD hoping to claw their way back into this game. Fly ball into foul territory, out of play. The full count. This one's popped up again into foul territory and again out of play. Cook facing the 8th pitch of this at-bat. This one way up in the air, going towards shallow right center field. Errado calls off his teammates, makes the play. Out number 1.
Out of Eastern Kentucky, number 30, Will King.
That ball was absolutely skied. Will King, the tomahawk move to get into his stance. He's 0 for 2 today. And he's hit on the leg, wears that one proudly, trots over to first, so his on-base streak continues. He's had a hit in every game he's played in so far. Since it's only the 6th, I bet we'll see him one more time today, and he'll like to continue that streak. But right now, standing on first as Max Vieira back for his 3rd time around. He's also 0 for 2 on the day with 2 groundouts. This one sneaks through a gap up towards second. It's a single on the ground. And Will King aboard on second, Vieira on first. There was a little bit of a shift going on there for Harwich, and Vieira beats it out. Hard hit ball through that 4-5 gap.
And that's what you want. When you're down in a game, you don't need to get everything back at once. Just get base runners, shoot things through the infield, try to scratch across a run here and there.
Hines pops it up into foul territory. No play. The 0-1 on the way. Counts 1-1, 1 out to Hunter Hines. He's 2 for 2 on the day with a double and a single. Takes ball 2 outside. Fouls it back once again, counts even, 2-2. Pickoff move towards second, but no Mariners there covering the bag, so no threat to Will King, the base runner. Ball 3. Full count for Hunter Hines. As you've said, Luke, he's been displaying a lot of discipline at the plate. He has the power, but he hasn't been chasing. He's waiting for the right pitch, which is why he's been so successful at the plate. Fouled back again, right off the tip, out of play.
Yeah, he knows when to take on 2 strikes. He's gotten ahead in a lot of counts, but there have been other times where he's had 2 strikes on him, and he's known when to take a pitch, when to do something like that. Ball that's curling towards that outside corner, just foul it off.
This one popped up, and it'll stay fair, heading towards shallow left field. Culpepper makes the play. Runners held out, 2 outs for the Mariners.
Next up, out of count Poley, number 7, Ryan Stafford.
So Stafford back up. His last at-bat on any other day might have been a hit, but instead robbed by Kalen Culpepper, who then ended the inning with a nice double play to first. Hoping to redeem himself here. Fouled back out of play. Again, this is Stafford's first day on the active roster for the Red Sox.
Got added this afternoon.
Swings through, strike 2. King on second, Vieira on first. Stafford, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Pearson ends the inning. The Red Sox can't put any on the board. It remains 6-2 as we head to the top of the 7th.
Top of the 7th here from Red Wilson Field. Luke West, Poley, Perri, Kitei alongside. 6-2 our score. Harwich leading YD. Scored 6 of the last 7 runs in this game. First pitch is a strike to Kennedy Jones. He's reached base all 3 times he's been up to the plate. Perri walks in a double for him on the day. Connor O'Hara back to the bump for YD. Runs it inside on him to even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. A lot of late starts around the Cape League this evening. As we take a look at the scoreboard around the rest of Cape Cod. 1-1 check swing, and it's in there for strike 2. Wareham and Chatham getting ready to go from Veterans Field. They will start at the top of the hour at 7. Katuitt and Orleans knotted up at 0 from Eldridge Park in the top of the 2nd inning. 1-2, down in the dirt. The Bourne Braves looking for their first win of the season. They currently sit at the bottom of the Cape League at 0-4-1. They are on top of Hyannis on the road 4-0 in the 3rd. Falmouth and Brewster playing to a 0-0 scoreless tie in the 8th right now. 2-2. Lifted out to right field. Cook has a beat on it. Makes the catch to his left for out number 1.
A routine play for Cook, but important nonetheless, as YD has to prevent Harwich from scoring more if they want a chance at a comeback in these later innings.
Kenny Lavari, who's 0 for 3, takes a strike on the outside corner. Harwich out hitting the Red Sox 8-6. YD, a team that has 12 or more hits in each of their last 3 games. Red Sox only had 8 hits against the Mariners the first go-around, if you remember back to opening day. Two balls and a strike to Lavari. Wrapped foul. Makes it 2-2. Cape League's schedule this season has been balanced out where teams have an equal number of Friday home games, and every team in the league has 1 home game every weekend on either Saturday or Sunday. 2-2, just tipped foul. So that means that with YD on the road on Saturday, that's tomorrow against Bourne, they will be back at home on Sunday. Still in the middle of this 8 home games and 12 games to start the year stretch for the Red Sox. 2-2, this ball is crushed out to right field. Cook coming over on it, and the gap makes the catch. And there's 2 gone.
That one was flying towards the gap. Thought it had a chance at dropping, but Cook with a nice break on it makes the play in plenty of time.
Brian Arendt has scored a run in this game, but is hitless. He digs into the right-hander's box. First pitch in there for strike 1. Big development coming from the YD bullpen. Brady is currently out there warming up. No balls, 1 strike. And it's up high and away. Brady is the YD bat boy, for those who are not aware. Local legend. Was honored during the Falmouth game, on the road actually, a few nights ago. 1-1 taken in the dirt.
Brady has been a staple in the YD dugout and bullpen for a number of years now. The players love him. He's around all the time. He catches their bullpens. He throws some pitches.
There's strike 2.
Makes them laugh. Comes to every single game, home and away. He gets to ride the bus with the team.
Every game. Brady is a YD super fan, as big as they come. Swing and a miss on the 2-2. Connor O'Hara works through the 7th with efficiency. 1-2-3 go the Harwich Mariners in the top of the inning. It's time to stretch here from Red Wilson Field as we head to the bottom of inning number 7, 6-2 Harwich on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Reach the bottom of the 7th here from Red Wilson Field. Leading off for the Red Sox, Jacob Christian, Luke Poley with Perri Kitei. Thanks so much for spending your Friday evening with us. We'll be back tomorrow for our radio broadcast as the Red Sox hit the road to take on the Bourne Braves from Doran Park. Christian takes a first pitch outside for ball 1. 6 o'clock start tomorrow. Exclusively out of the stretch. Pearson fires in and slides outside for ball 2. Good vibes at the ballpark here today. Crowd hasn't really thinned out much. People have stuck it out in what is currently a 6-2 game.
The Red Sox have had some dramatic, almost comebacks in their first 2 games, including against Harwich.
3 balls, no strikes to Jacob Christian.
But the 8th inning has been their time to strike so far this season. They put up a 6-run 8th versus Kitei.
4-pitch walk. It's a start for YD. Christian's aboard for the 3rd time. And that brings in Brady Day, who's 1 for 2.
Day singled up the middle in his last at-bat to advance Christian.
Day takes a strike in the outside corner. Pretty small lead comparably by Christian after he took a bigger one in the first. That pitch bounces in. Christian takes off. Arendt couldn't track it down.
Day helped him out a little bit on that one, standing in the way. The ball got back in front of Day's feet. Arendt was behind him. Couldn't maneuver around. Very good heads-up base running from Christian.
Stand your ground if you're in the batter's box. As long as you don't move, it's not interference. Day takes outside for ball 2. Ahead in the count with a runner in scoring position. That's ball 3. Pinch hitter on deck for YD. Nathan Archer, who's been one of their top hitters for contact, set to enter the game. He will hit in the spot previously held by Collier Cranford. That's ball 4. Back-to-back walks dealt out by Will Pearson to start the inning. And now Nathan Archer coming in to the plate for the first time in this game.
Another pinch hitter on deck behind him, too, Enzo Apodaca, who started off the season cold at the plate, but in the last 3 games has been extremely hot. Multi-hit games for Enzo Apodaca, and his average has crept above 300.
So Scott Pickler not satisfied with how the bottom of his order has produced so far in this game. And now we will see an infield meeting here for Harwich as the Mines all collect on the bump. And the Mariners are actually going to call to the bullpen here. New pitcher coming up to the plate. YD looking for a late inning rally here in the 7th. It's 6-2 on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Dylan Delvecchio takes over on the mound for Harwich. First and second, nobody out, and Nathan Archer coming to the plate for YD. Red Sox need at least 4 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch from the lefty finds the outside corner for strike 1. Delvecchio, 6'1", 200 pounds, southpaw to San Marcos, California. Plays his college ball in the state of Texas with Tarleton. Archer lays off. That pitch just barely misses the zone. Named the number 22 overall prospect by D1 Baseball during preseason for the 2023 MLB draft, Delvecchio was. Archer nubs that one foul.
Archer was hitless in his last time out, but outside of that has been spectacular at the plate, both for power and for contact.
2 home runs for him this season. But he swings and misses for strike 3 that time. And Dylan Delvecchio has his way with the first batter he sees.
He was reaching on that one. It was low and outside, but the pressure stepping up to pinch hit often makes people chase, looking for that clutch hit in an important situation.
And so now it's Enzo Apodaca pinch hitting for YD. And he will hit for Nick Mitchell. Left-handed swinger takes strike 1. Apodaca's been hot lately. 5 for 14 on the season after starting 0 for 8. Blocked behind the plate by Arendt, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
In case you're wondering, that means he's 5 for 6 in his last few at-bats.
Ball 2. Would be veracious to say that YD has had some late inning mojo in them. It's just that oftentimes they've fallen just short. That was the case in the game against Harwich on opening day. Mounted a comeback, fell 1 run short. Apodaca takes strike 2 on the corner. Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Twisted foul. Enzo Apodaca looking to keep the train moving for the Red Sox. Try and bring the tying run to the plate. 2-2 lifted, just foul on the right side. Slowly hit ball, might have one-hopped right next to the plate, and so the count will remain the same. To the Gonzaga Bulldog.
This is Apodaca's first day not in the starting lineup.
2-2 swung on and missed for strike 3. Del Vecchio starts his outing with back-to-back strikeouts, and all of a sudden, YD at risk of stranding first and second, nobody out. This inning rests on the bat of Casey Cook. First pitch swinging, grounder up the middle. This is going to get through for a base hit. Christian rounding third. Play at the plate is not in time, and he scores.
It was a slow-moving ball out towards center. It was a gun from Humphrey to the plate. I thought he might have gotten him, but the length of Christian slides a hand in there just before Aaron can put the tag on. And it's Will King at the plate. Runners on first and second. The score is 6-3.
YD gets another run back. Hits are now 8-7 in favor of Harwich. Will King looking for his first hit, trying to extend the streak. First pitch misses up high for ball 1. King, the best hitter by average on this team. Rips it left side, base hit. Stop sign put up at third. And so Day will halt there. Runners move station to station. And that brings up Max Vieira with the bases loaded and 2 out. So a big point in the game. YD's already got 1 here in the 7th. The tying run is on base. The potential go-ahead run at the plate in Max Vieira, but Dylan Del Vecchio, who started off this outing really strong, is just 1 out away. We are seeing now a coach out of the dugout for Harwich. Their bullpen's not hot right now. And it's just going to be a chat between coach, catcher, and pitcher.
So that extends Will King's hit streak to 5. He's had 1 at least, 2 in 2 of these games, so 2 multi-hit games out of 5 with hits in all of them. Brings his hit total up to 7.
Came into today tied for the league lead in average. Max Vieira to the plate. He's 1 for 3. Tying runs on first base. Vieira takes below, no, just clips the bottom part of the zone for strike 1. Grounder left side, scooped up by Lavari onto first, and he beats him by a step for out number 3. YD strands 3 on base, but the Red Sox do run as Jacob Christian scores his 2nd run of the game, and it's 6-3 Harwich headed to the 8th. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Red Sox move one closer. It's a 6-3 game in the top of the 8th. With Perri, Kitei, Luke West, Poley on hand here at Merrill Red Wilson Field. 8-9-1 coming up for Harwich, who went down in order in the 7th. O'Hara delivers outside for ball 1. Matt Scannell is 2 for 3 with a single, a home run, and a flyout. Grounder off the mound. Two-hopper is fielded and thrown on to first in time for the out. Awkward-looking play there, but with the shift on, the Red Sox were able to get the out. And so there's one gone in the top of the 8th. Eric Arado now standing in. He's walked twice, 0 for 1 with a groundout, sandwiched in the middle.
That was good patience by Brady Day over at second, waiting to see what kind of bounce that ball would have off the mound. Fields it, makes the throw in time.
First pitch bounces in for ball 1. Crowd with a little bit of buzz to it here as we are in the later part of this game. Strike 1 on the outside corner. One pushed foul hard into the YD dugout. Some leapers over there on the left side.
Might have caught Sawyer Hawk's ankle. He was the leaper in the question.
He threw out the first pitch today on Redshirt Friday here from South Yarmouth. It's the 1-2 flies outside. Cape League honoring veterans with red jerseys for the home teams across the league every Friday. Two-two. Just off the inside corner, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sawyer Hawks, who was previously at the Air Force Academy for these past couple of seasons. Not in the game today, just hanging out in the dugout. The payoff, high for ball 4. Rhino has walked for a 3rd time. That flips the lineup over. Jacob Humphrey, after being hit by a pitch and then picked off back in the first, has had a forgettable day, striking out his last 3 times at the plate. First pitch scooped out of the dirt for ball 1.
Big lead on first from Arado. We've already seen him steal 1 base today. Likely he could go for 2.
Pickoff move over to first. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second is wide of the bag. The tag is applied late. Arado's in there again. And he moves into scoring position.
Another errant throw by King. He's just missing to the left side of the bag this time. Wider than even the last time on Arado. Same throw. He had the time. He had a good jump on Arado, but the throw just not finding the right spot.
1-1 grounded over to second. Day up with it. Sidearms to first for the out. Runner moves from second to third. 2 gone for Seaver King, who has reached on a base hit each of his last 2 times up.
King started off 0 for 2 since 2 for 2.
Check swings at the first pitch. Will King wants an appeal to first, but No swing according to Rudy Firmbach, first base umpire. Swing and a miss on the 1-0 offering. One. Lifted out to right, backtracking. Cook makes the catch, moving towards the line. Side retired. Harwich strands a man on third, and YD does their job in the field. They hang a 0, and with 6 outs left for the Red Sox, they trail by 3. 6-3, Harwich out in front. We'll return with the Red Sox at the plate here on the Cape League Broadcast Network next. Bottom of the 8th inning, and Hunter Hines leading off for YD. 6-3 game led by Harwich. Hines takes the first pitch. He's 2 for 3 with a single, a double, and a pop out. Broken bat, looper up the middle, coming over from short and making the catch over the shoulder. Culpepper has it for the first out.
These wooden bats have been an adjustment for a lot of these players, and these broken bats are turning would-be hits into routine outs.
Ryan Stafford has struck out twice, one each way, and has also lined out. Takes the first pitch outside. This is his first look at Dylan Delvecchio. That line out also was on the front end of a 6-3 double play as Hunter Hines got caught off first. Grounder over to third, backhand field. It's bobbled, and the throw on to first by Lavari is late. So Stafford reaches, and Jacob Christian now digging in. YD with a chance at life here in the 8th.
That was ruled an error on Lavari still. Even with the bobble, he almost beat out Ryan Stafford. I thought Stafford would have him by a lot more than he did.
First pitch finds the heart of the zone for strike 1. Jacob Christian has had a really solid day at the plate. 2 walks, a double, and 2 runs scored. Off the end of the bat foul on the 0-1. Mitch Voigt is warming up in the YD bullpen. Guy who has not seen the lineup in the field or in the batting lineup for the Red Sox in a couple of games. Two-way, that was a mainstay in the YD batting order through the first few games of the season. Now getting potentially his first chance to pitch, the Michigan Wolverine. (0-2) fought off. Christian digging back in, trying to reach base for the 4th time in as many attempts. Dribbles it foul. Brady Day on deck for YD. No balls and 2 strikes to Christian. 2-step leadoff first from Stafford. YD, if you remember back to opening day, was in a very similar position on the road. Down 3 runs late. Grounder to short. Culpepper on to second for 1. Throw to first is not in time. Christian legs it out. Luckily for YD, that would have ended the inning. Instead, Brady Day with a chance to hit with 2 outs.
Impressive speed from Christian down the line, beating that out. It was a good throw from Culpepper, just not in time. So Christian replaces Stafford on first base.
First pitch is a fastball down the middle for strike 1 to Day. And Day takes on the bottom corner of the zone for strike 2. Hits are even at 8 apiece. YD down by 3. Check swing on a ball in the dirt. Day holds. They are going to appeal out to base umpire Justin Sims, but he says no swing from second.
Day 1 for 2 with a single and a walk.
1-2, late swing, but this ball's going to sneak over, and there's no play for Culpepper, who fields on the backhand. Almost a defensive swing there from Brady Day, but just hit it where they weren't in the field, and it's an infield hit to extend the inning, and it brings up Nathan Archer. Guy who has shown he has some pop in his bat. He represents the tying run in the bottom of the 8th. Just nibbles the first pitch foul. Archer followed by Apodaca. In a game like this where base runners haven't necessarily been hard to come by, but run sat for YD. Archer takes inside. Again, going to peel out to the base umpire who says no swing. Justin Sims puts up the no swing sign.
Archer.
Feels like this might be one of the last opportunities for YD.
Archer's out of Bowling Green.
Check swing. Gonna appeal again, and no swing again, so Archer out in front 2-1.
He had 9 home runs in 2023, already 2 here in the Cape League season. These fields are a tad small, so Archer gets an advantage there.
Rips it foul. Make it 2-2. 3 runs, maybe monumental for YD to handle in the 9th. Gonna think they at least want to get something here in the 8th. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Archer. The deal. Check swing again, and he holds up for ball 3. Full count. Runners will be off with the pitch. Here we go. Fouled off.
This has been a defensive at-bat so far for Archer. Hasn't found good contact on anything, but continues to just get a piece of it, foul it off, waiting for something he likes that he can really go after.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Archer can't connect. The ball drops into the dirt, and he goes chasing, and the Red Sox strand 2 in the bottom of the 8th. To the 9th we go. It is 6-3 Harwich here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Stay tuned. Top of the ninth inning here from Merrill Red Wilson Field. Luke West Poley, Perri Kitei alongside. Mitch Voigt gets the ball in a pretty big situation for the Red Sox here in the ninth. They need a 0 to keep themselves in the game. They're down by 3. Kalen Culpepper in the 3 spot in the lineup leads off. And Mitch Voigt, the two-way, who has been in the batting lineup for YD a few times, gets his first Cape League appearance on the mound, and his first pitch is a curveball that finds the outside corner for strike 1.
Voigt had pretty solid pitching statistics this year as a freshman, 3.25 ERA with 5 saves in 36 innings pitched.
Spikes his fastball, makes it 1-1. Also got 5 decisions. He was 4-1. Appeared 19 times for the Michigan Wolverines. Breaking ball misses upstairs for ball 2. Culpepper is 2 for 4.
Two singles, 2 flyouts for the man at the plate.
And Voigt sends one outside for ball 3. The 3-1. This ball is hammered out to left. Backtracking Christian makes the catch at the wall. Hit on a line, and it stays within the reaches of the ballpark. It was loud, but it's an out still. And it's the first of the ninth inning.
I thought that ball might have a chance off the bat, but Christian, very well positioned, essentially stood at the fence and just waited it out.
First pitch high and away for ball 1 to Hunter Fitzgerald. He's 1 for 4. 2 groundouts, a strikeout, and a single for him on the day. YD configuring their infield. Fitzgerald moves ahead 2-0. He's got 3 on the right side right now for the Red Sox. Max Vieira, the lone man on the left. YD leading in the hit category 9-8, but trailing by 3. Check swing and a strike there, and a silly looking one at that from Fitzgerald. Just couldn't hold a swing back.
Blake Ida is in the bullpen for the Red Sox.
Another check swing, the appeal to third, but did not go around. Three balls, 1 strike to Fitzgerald. That falls in there for strike 2. Fitzgerald getting ready to toss the bat aside. Got to think Ida out there in terms of an emergency situation for YD if Mitch Voigt was to get in some trouble. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Voigt got him chasing down low with the breaking ball. And he gets his first strikeout. There's 2 gone in the ninth.
Excellent recovery from Voigt. Went down in the count, battled back with that arcing curveball. Just clipped the corner for strike 2. Gets him swinging, chasing the low ball on strike 3.
Kennedy Jones, 1 for 2. Takes ball 1. He's also walked twice. Has scored 1 of Harwich's 6 runs. 1-0, sinks in there for strike 1. And the 1-1 offering is bounced in. Two balls and a strike. Voigt trying to get his team up to the plate with a chance to tie it, potentially win it in the ninth. That's in there, strike 2.
That one breaking away from the batter, still with that 12-6 arc on top of it as well. Beautiful breaking ball.
Up in the air, right field, foul ground. Cook over, gets a look at it, but it drops on the grass. Voigt throws a slider and a curveball. The curveball is a little bit slurvy, though. It has some sideways movement to it. Two balls and two strikes. Jones climbs back in. Called strike 3. Mitch Voigt with a clean inning in relief. He goes 1, 2, 3 through the middle part of the Mariner order. And the last chance for the Red Sox at the plate is coming up. It's 6-3 Harwich. YD back to the plate when we return here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 9th inning, and a new pitcher on the hill for Harwich. Chandler Marsh gets the ball for head coach Steve Englert with a 3-run lead. This is a save situation for Marsh, the junior out of Stuart, Florida, and the University of Georgia. 9-1-2 in the YD order coming to the plate. It's Apodaca, Cook, and King.
Apodaca struck out swinging in his first at-bat today, breaking a hit streak that lasted 3 at-bats in a row going back to a few games ago.
First pitch is outside for ball 1 for Chandler Marsh. Second appearance on Cape this season. 1 inning pitched in his first, got the win. Did not give up a hit or a run, 1 walk. Check swing foul from Apodaca. Shakes off, now ready's the 1-1. High and away for ball 2.
It's been overcast all day, but the field definitely starting to darken a bit as we pass 7:30 p.m. Game time about 2 hours, 50 minutes.
Nearly hits Apodaca for ball 3. YD has had their fair share of base runners. They've stranded 8 so far in this game. Ball 4. That's a start to the rally. Apodaca works a 5-pitch walk. And now Casey Cook, who was inserted into the leadoff spot, a late addition to this roster, steps up to the plate looking for his 3rd hit of the day. He's 2 for 4 thus far. First pitch strike from Chandler Marsh. Casey Cook choked way up on that bat. The message is clear. YD just looking for base runners. Called strike 2 in the upper inside corner.
And as of the end of the 8th inning, YT actually winning the hitting battle. They have 9 to Harwich's 8.
From the stretch. Ahead 0-2, Marsh deals. Cook holds with nothing to swing at.
There is a large gap out in right center field with Humphrey shifted all the way over to the far side, left side of second base.
1-2 pulled foul.
If Cook can sneak one up the middle as he did in his last at-bat, there could be a lot of room for Apodaca to run.
Outfield's deep. Count even. Plenty of room to just bloop one in there here for Casey Cook. Shortening up that swing. Choked up on that bat, just looking for a ball in play. Takes just to top the zone for ball 3. And the count is full.
Such a dangerous take from Cook. I think it dropped into that zone, but just after it crossed the plane of the plate.
Payoff. Spoiled foul. Still 3-2 to Cook. Pitch number 7 upcoming. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Marsh rides high, Cook goes swinging, can't connect, and that's the first out of the bottom of the 9th. Will King up to the plate for YD after an 0-for-2 start, has reached base each of his last 2 times up. Hit by pitch and a single for the Eastern Kentucky Colonel. And when yanked outside for ball 1.
Did you say the Eastern Kentucky mascot is
I
the
did.
Colonel?
They are
The
the
Colonels?
Colonels. Shout out EKU. Tipped in the air, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. They got a great logo. Will King, a New York native, taking his talents to the south, you could say. Upper part, but still the south. And he takes high for ball 2. King has been so clutch in these scenarios all season for YD.
All I'm picturing right now is Colonel Mustard from Clue.
Lifted up in the air. Arendt gave it a look, but it was way beyond the fence. And foul. Two balls and 2 strikes to Will King. Shimmies into the right-handed box. Breaking ball just outside the Harwich dugout, wanted it instead. It's our 2nd straight full count. Can hear Brady in the YD dugout trying to cheer his boys on. 3-2 jammed up the middle, base hit. Will King doing Will King things here in the 9th. The YD catcher brings the tying run to the plate, and Max Vieira.
He is just so reliable in clutch late game situations. It's incredible to watch every single time. He started off slow in this game, but at the end when he feels that his team needs him the most, he's reached base his last 3 at-bats in a row with 2 very hard-hit line drives to the outfield to go along with that.
Max Vieira up to the plate, who's 1 for 4. First pitch taking for ball, or for strike one, I should say. Vieira last came up to the plate in the 7th with the bases loaded and YD down 3, and he grounded out to third to end the inning. Second chance for him to come up clutch for the Red Sox. This one ticks away. Both runners take off. A pump fake from Arendt, but both guys going to move up into scoring position. That eliminates the force. And a single can now potentially score 2. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Max Vieira.
A rare mistake from Arendt, who's had a very clean day behind the plate.
In on the hands for ball 2. It's thrown out. Some runners on the base pads. That time just got away from him. Pushed the opposite way, base hit. Will King getting waved around third. He will come in to score. Arado fires it in. And with 1 out in the 9th, it's a 6-5 game with Hunter Hines coming to the plate.
If there's one man you could pick in this lineup that you want at the plate right now, other than Will King, just because of the clutchness factor, it's this man right here, Hunter Hines.
Hines represents the winning run over on first. Vieira, the tying run. Pitcher-catcher conference as Arendt goes out to talk to Chandler Marsh.
Hines with 2 hits in his first 2 at-bats, started off with a double, then a single. 2 flyouts in his last 2, both pop-ups, 1 with a broken bat.
First pitch way high for ball 1. Mention those 2 pop-outs. Hines looking to get that ball back on the barrel. Check swing. That one finds the zone anyway. Strike 1.
With a runner on first, a double play could end the game.
Hines takes high for ball 2. There is still a chance that Ryan Stafford, who's on deck, could come to the plate. Popped up foul. Some oohs and ahs from the YD dugout. Didn't know if that ball for a split second was going to stay in the field of play, but ended up way beyond the fence. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hunter Hines. And he takes ball 3. Another full count. Runner on first and 1 out in the 9th. YD needs at least 1 more. They've already got 2 in this inning. Runner goes. This one hit over left side, and that's going to be a base hit. It gets by the glove of Culpepper. That allows Vieira to move over to third. The hit and run works perfectly for Scott Pickler and crew, and YD's got the tying run just 90 feet away.
What a call and perfect execution from the Red Sox. Hines, what would be a routine base hit, actually an opportunity for a double play, but because Vieira had started the steal, Culpepper was shifting towards the bag, lost his footing, and the ground ball rolls through to the outfield. Runners on the corners, the tying run on third base, the winning run on first, and Ryan Stafford could walk things off.
He could. Winning run is on base like Perri mentioned, and with this conference going on the mound, also a close eye that we're keeping on the left side as the YD coaches are all met up. Imagine this may be about a potential pinch runner for Hunter Hines. The double play to end the game is still a possibility. But it looks like they're going to keep him in the game for now. Runners on the corners with 1 out. And Ryan Stafford, playing his first game as a member of the YD Red Sox, comes to the plate. big hack and a miss for strike one. Stafford has 2 strikeouts. He has lined out to short on a hard hit ball that turned into a double play. And he reached his most recent at bat on an error. Popped up the 0-1. Skied out of play.
Stafford is swinging for the fences right now, attacking these pitches. That first strike was a monster hack.
Jacob Christian is on deck. Scott Pickler just gave a sign on first base to Hunter Hines. He's got a very small lead. Swing and a miss on the 0-2. And the Red Sox are down to their final out. Jacob Christian comes up to the plate. YD down 6-5, the tying run on third. Christian off what has to this point been one of his best games as a member of the Red Sox. He's scored 2 runs. He's 1 for 2 with 2 walks. First pitch, mile high. In foul ground, left side. Lavari comes over and he runs out of room just barely. That ball gets into the dugout, but some nervy moments there on first pitch swinging from Jacob Christian.
I thought the game was over on that ball, but life still for the Red Sox.
The game is alive and well. Taken outside by Christian for ball 1. Brady Day is on deck. Still a chance he comes up in this game. One taken on the corner for strike 2 in the off speed. And YD's down to their final strike. Two outs and a 1-2 count to the D2 National Player of the Year. Runner goes. Pitch is yanked outside. Hines stopped halfway to second, but he will just jog into scoring position, and Harwich is going to give him the base. That makes it a 2-2 count, and a single could potentially win it. Hines really wanted to draw that throw. Arendt was smarter than that. 2-2. Off the outside corner for ball 3. Harwich wanted the call. Arendt tried the frame, but it's just a couple inches off the zone, and now it's another full count.
As the father of a catcher once told me, if you're moving your hand a foot to make the frame, that ball is not a strike.
The 3-2. Chopper to third. Skips up on the backhand. Throw on to first is getting away. It goes into right field. Hunter Hines comes in to win it, and YD walks it off. The ball ticked off the hand of Lavari, and in a moment of panic, he zinged it past his first baseman, Matt Scannell, and the Red Sox have won their 4th in a row in walk-off fashion.
What a dramatic end to the game. The better play in that situation would be to hold off. The game was still tied. Lavari had such a slight chance at making that play, but with the lead on the game on the line, he made a decision, and it cost the Mariners the game. The Red Sox extend their win streak to 4 in a row.
YD wins their 4th straight, and the Red Sox continue the momentum out of the off day and send the home fans happy back to the cars, as it's 7-6, our final score here from Red Wilson.
The Red Sox, with that, also collected their 12th hit of the game, continuing that streak as well. This offense has been prolific. Once again, the pitching stepping up. Those last 3 innings did not allow a run, just enough to win them the game.
YD improves to 4-2 on the season. And with that, Harwich falls to 3-3 and even 500. Brewster losing to Falmouth earlier today brings the Whitecaps down to a 3-2-1 record. And so with that, the Red Sox are in first place right now in the East Division as we head into the weekend. YD victors for the fourth time in a row. Perri, this team is finding a way to get it done. You look at those first couple of losses, you look now, obviously the offense has been an area that we talked about in the open as being the difference for this team, but the clutch factor has been there as well. This team, we talk about it time and time again, playing that complementary baseball, and I think nothing proving that more than a 4 spot in the bottom of the ninth to walk it off.
It was the most runs they've had in an inning this game. They did just enough. They've been turning it on in the later innings, and I think the confidence from each other that they get, they're just managing to find on base, infield singles, forcing errors, and calls from Scott Pickler in the dugout cannot be overlooked. That hit and run could have been a double play that ended the game, but instead it allowed a run to score. Vieira advanced. Hines reached first safely. Those moments are why Scott Pickler is one of the greatest coaches in Cape League history. And now the Red Sox head to Bourne on the road tomorrow, a team that has struggled so far this season. Interested to see how that one goes.
So, as Perri said, YD heads to Bourne tomorrow. The Red Sox are in first place in the East on the back of 4 straight wins. Perri and I will be on the call there between YD and the team that is currently trying to dig themselves out of the bottom of the West Division, the Bourne Braves, who have also, disappointingly for Braves fans tonight, blown a 4-0 lead against Hyannis. We will be on the air for that one tomorrow. It's a 6 p.m. first pitch from Doran Park over near the bridge. Thanks so much for tuning in. YD with their first walk-off of the season, and that'll wrap up our coverage tonight from Red Wilson Field. For our producer, Anna Tedeschi, my partner, Perri Kitei, all of our great crew here on hand from the YD Red Sox. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Red Sox win it 7-6 in walk-off fashion. Game winner comes off the bat of Jacob Christian, and YD first place in the East. We'll see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. start between the Red Sox and the Bourne Braves. Until then, good night from South Yarmouth.